Vida Carford was born in San Lorenzo, Puerto Rico on June 18, 1965. She entered the U.S. Army as a combat nurse in 1986 and continued for 5 years. She now lives in Norwalk, Connecticut and works as a home care nurse. So thank you for joining us on today's edition of Person to Person. I would like you to meet our guest today, Vida Carford.
How are you doing?
Very well, how are you?
Good.
So what exactly is a home care nurse?
Well, a home care nurse, or any nurse per se, is a nurse who go to people's house and do an assessment, and then from that you decide, what is the diagnosis, what the patient needs, and provide care. When you say providing care, it is between do dressing change to people with open wounds, people with 2nd and 3rd degree burn, you do a complete care, and IV colostomies, people with cancer, or people who are recovering from drug and alcohol. So it's the same setting at the same thing that you do at the hospital, but in the setting of the home.
Okay. So what are some of the gratifications of being a nurse?
Well, being a nurse, when you walk to people's house, you learn to people's life, you make a difference in their life. You make a difference, and you meet people in their worst and in their best, and it's a daily challenge. And the good thing is, you make a difference in people's life, and you see life in the beginning and the end.
So I think we have some video showing some of your patients here. So can you tell me what we're looking at here?
Oh, that's a patient who was in a car accident, had an open wound in his leg. So what we did to try to save his leg, we removed the muscle from the back and transferred to the front. The wound got infected, so he came home until the infection was over, and then go back home and go back to the hospital for a skin graft. So we were doing twice a day dressing change.
2, 1. So growing up on a farm and being poor must have been difficult for you. So let's see what you have to say about your experiences.
Growing up in San Lorenzo, Puerto Rico is kind of strange. Happy but sad at the same time. Happy because, I was always playing and climbing trees and running on the lake with my sisters and brothers and cousins. But then it was sad because we didn't have much. You are all day long in the morning. We didn't have what you people have right now. We didn't have toys. We didn't have TV. We didn't have light and power, anything. So in the morning, all the kids had to go and get a bucket and go to the river and get water and bring it up for your mother to, get the basics and make you a breakfast. Finally, my mother, when I was 10 years old, my mother met my stepfather, Geraldo, and she moved with him to the city. Not like the farm, because in the farm, even if you had nothing, you are playing all day long, you have things to do. But in the city, you had to be locked in a room. Mommy moved to this small room where you have only one door and one window. So I get used to cry, and my sisters and brother, we were 4 of us, because we just didn't want to be there. My stepfather didn't let us, go with other kids and playing either. So he get used to beat me a lot, because I was very feisty. I get used to cry, and then I get used to fight with him, and I didn't like him. You know what? It was an incident I didn't like it. I grew up without a father, because my father get used to go out and cheating on my mother all the time, so he was never around. But after 1 month he living with my mother, he wanted us to call him daddy. And I told him right away, you are not my daddy. I had no daddy. So he didn't like that. So the first thing that he did, and it was the first time that he hit me, he did like this, backwards. And then after that, then he never stopped until I left my house.
So after those experiences, do you plan on telling anybody else about your life story?
Well, when I started talking to Christina about this project, my niece, we said she thought it would be a good thing to write and talk about. Even if for years I kept a secret, I never want to talk about my private life before. This is the first time. And I said, well, I thought that maybe I can write a book with the title of Tear from the Ghetto, because I'm coming from a very poor area, and I struggle a lot to make it where I am right now. And maybe it will be something that it will help people to, even if you are in the bottom right now, if you fight for it and you work hard, maybe you can make it. I don't think maybe you can make it, you can make it. Because I did it, and if I did it, anybody can do it. And English is my second language. Not only I made it, but I made it in a country that don't even speak my language and doesn't have my same background. So maybe it will be up to her.
Sounds good.
Finish high school. But where I'm going, when you graduate from high school, you go to college, mommy and daddy taking you to college, you search the school that you want to go, they help you with the dorm, they help you with this and that. I had nobody. I was daydreaming. I was like, I'm going to college, and then what? I applied for different universities, especially University of Puerto Rico. First, because it's the top one and the cheaper one, because it belongs to the state. And not only that, that's where the medicine school is, and I want to be a doctor because I want to help people. I went to college. Then I qualified good for the pre-medicine school because I want to be a doctor. But then when I went to the dorm, they kicked me out, of course, because I didn't have the money. I show up with this little box with my stuff, okay? So what I did, they have in University of Puerto Rico, anybody who knows Puerto Rico, they know La Plaza del Mercado in University of, in the Rio Piedras. It's a big church, it's a plaza, and when you go there, it's just at nighttime, it's just drug and alcohol and all kind of stuff. But it's close to the university, so that's why I choose to sleep. So what I did is I put my little box on the bench, I crawled in fetal position and went to sleep. I realized that no way I'm going to make it to the medicine school because first I got no money. Second, we called Pala. I don't have nobody who's going to help me to go through, and no way I'm going to make it. So then they talked to me about switching to nursing school. The best things that I ever did. Aunt's husband talked to me about the ROTC. So I went and tried the ROTC, but I couldn't be in ROTC because I didn't speak English. So I joined the Army, and I remember that, I went to this, I talked to the recruiter. I had no clue what I was doing. I just knew that I had to do it. I said, I want to make it to school. I have all this dream and all these goals, and the only way is to do this, just to join the Army. It was one of the hardest decisions I have ever taken, but one of the best for me.
So what did the Army teach you about life?
Well, when I joined the Army, I had no clue what I was doing, but like I said in the video, it was the best thing. It taught me about having a lot of self-confidence and to fight. And if I have goals, when you have self-confidence, it helps you to accomplish anything else. I think in life, that's what it's about, believing in yourself and go for it. So when I was exposed to the Army, people treat me very nice. I learned to speak English. I'm still learning, as you notice. But it's just about being self-confident, and as I was in the service for 8 years, 5 after enlisted, and then the last 4 as a combat nurse. And then when I finished my service, I was able to go back to the civilian life and then become, go and make my dreams come true and be where I am right now.
That's good. So we hope you enjoyed meeting Vida, a home care nurse. We hope you will continue to join us for our next show, where you will meet a person who lives in a nude community and their struggles with fitting in today's society. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This has been a Norwalk Community College student production.